Alright, we've wet sanded it after the first priming, and we found a few little pop marks, so we primed it again, and we'll continue this until we finally end up with as close to perfect as possible. Now, if you can see it, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. Let me see. There you go. See those little marks? See it? A little scratch? And that little dig right there? I would have never seen that if I hadn't primed it and wet sanded it and primed it. Alright, as we continue, this is the second time I primed it, and this is going to be the last because I can see what we have to finish. By sanding it down, I find that we have a little high spot here, so I just got to play with that a little bit, which is not a big deal. And I got a little high spot right there. Whoops, I don't think you can see it. Yeah, there it is, right there. So, other than that, she's all nice and smooth and ready. I can't feel the high spots. I couldn't see them, but then again, this is flat. So once I put on the finish coat, which is going to be a gloss, if I had not found that, that may have stuck right out on me, and at that point haunted me for the rest of my life with this tractor, as same as this little dimple right there. So I'm just going to take care of that real quick. A little bit of hammer, a little bit of shaping, and possibly a little bit of snot. I don't think I'm going to need any more skims of Bondo or anything. And there's really no Bondo in any of this other than, you know, when you sand it down, you end up with a couple little spots that you couldn't get out. But there we are. Alright guys, let's keep you informed. Alright guys, we're in the final step and we're getting ready to put the first of the finished coats on, which is going to be John Deere green. What we've got here is a number of coats of primer and wet sanding, a little filling, a little shaping, a little tapping, and priming, and over and over and over again. And after 3 or 4 going over with the primer and such, we got it to a point now to where she is ready to paint. We had just wet sanded this all down with some 1500, and as you can see, no bare spots, therefore no high or low spots. So we're pretty set. We're pretty good and ready to let it go. So the next time you'll see it, it'll have a first coat of the finish. Alright, I've had this sitting out in the sun for a while. That's the finished coat, finished product. Now after it hardens, I'll end up wet sanding it, and I'll actually get a better shine out of it, and hopefully get that bug off there. Little fucking bugs. But other than that, that's about it. She is done. Nice and shiny. Got a nice glaze to it, except for the fucking bug. And all I gotta do now is wet sand it down. That bug will come off with the wet sand. Oh, there's another one on there. Alright, other than that, that's where we're at. There it is. The hood is done. Yeah. And it blended right in with this, so I didn't have to worry about it. Because I was going to do the whole tractor. Like I say, it's 4, maybe 5 years old. I'm not totally positive. But like I said, we had the big dent in the hood, which you can no longer see. That's all been taken care of. Banged out as much as possible. Used as little filler as possible. And once I buffed it out and got it on here and did a little buffing on that, it pretty well blended right in with it. Now the rest of the tractor is in good shape, other than the seat. I gotta put a new seat on it. But other than you know, a little bit of fade, which once I put the buffing wheel on that, that'll come right out. There's really no scratches or anything. Now a couple of the decals are a little fucked up, but I've got the machine. I can just go inside and cut some vinyl and replace some of the decals and do something with this. Again, there's nothing really wrong with it, you know, other than some cleaning, serious cleaning and buffing. However, some of the bucket, the front loader, that's got, you know, little scratches and dents and, you know, stuff like that. So I may just clean that up enough to make sure that it doesn't rust. You'll understand with the backhoe, you know, it's got a little bit of, well, it's got usage on it. You know, it's ripping through dirt and rock, so it's going to get those character marks to them. I stuck this on here for two reasons. It comes on and off. I'm thinking about just tack welding it on there, but other than that, I use it so if I got to move the trailers around, it's much easier to move the trailers around when this is when you're doing it from the front. And the other is this ball. I loosen this up and I'll swivel it around, and I've got a 40-foot tall, well actually it's about 33 feet tall light pole in the back with some 4 floodlights on it that, you know, activate with motion. So if I have to change the bulbs, I have it made so that I can pivot it from the bottom. So what I basically do is just bring the bucket up as high as I can, put it right between the pole, right between those two there, and as I drive backwards, the pole lowers, and by the time I'm done with it, it's right within reach. And then when I replace the bulbs, I drive forward and it puts the pole back up in place. Then I put the lock pins through it and we're ready to go. So that kind of serves a dual purpose. Like I say, I was thinking about just welding it on there. I don't know for sure, only because it keeps loosening up as I run around. It doesn't interfere with me as far as doing any digging or pushing or plowing or anything. So like I say, I may just weld it. I don't know yet. So, but anyway, the hood is done. And now I'm just going to buff it all out. I'm going to power wash out all the fittings, let them dry out, and then I'm going to grease them up with fresh grease, and we should be back ready to go. All these white splatters that you're seeing are basically from the buffing wheel when I was buffing out the hood. So, alright guys, there she be.